I hope. I weren't going to do a review for the Mansfield game. I didn't think anybody would be bothered because, it's a second game out of three in the first group stage at Johnson's pizza thing. Uh, but a few want one, so we'll have a quick look at it. It was an out game, but the team news come in and I thought, do you know what, actually, I might enjoy this because it's a chance to look at a couple of players we haven't seen. So obviously Gibson comes in at left-sided centre half. He's going to partner Dunkley at the back. Wildsmith's in net. It'll be good to have a look at him because he's probably going to have to play Saturday against Bolton because Peacock Farrell's on international duty. Canberra's recalled after 6.5 weeks, bombed out at squad. Maybe a chance to see Berahino down the middle because so far we've only seen him wide. And Deli Bashiro comes into midfield, there's Corbino and so on to the side. So it's a chance to have a look at these players. And I thought, well, that's not a bad side there on paper. Now, I did think when I saw it, I got a little bit excited. I know you shouldn't get too excited about a midweek nothing cup game against Mansfield Town, but I got a little bit excited because I saw the team and I thought, 4-4-2. And I saw Canberra and Berahino and I thought, classic big man, little man partnership here, because I'm a bit old-fashioned like that. I do like to see them strike partnerships. I thought, classic 6 foot odd, then you've got little speedy one next to him. So I was a bit surprised when the game started then that Canberra sort of plays in a deep sort of number 10 role. And in fact, at times, he's more like an advanced prong at midfield. It's almost like a midfield 5, so... I'm not sure why we did that. Because he's a centre forward, isn't he? He's a centre forward. And if you've got a centre forward, play him at centre forward. There's this modern thing now where there's this managers, coaches, we see pundits, everything, and they sort of generalise, don't they? He's an attacking player. It's a very sort of homogenous. He's an attacking player. But is he a left winger? Is he a right winger? Does he play deep? Does he play centre forward? Yeah, he's an attacker. Well, no, if somebody's a centre forward, they're a centre forward. Play him at centre forward. I mean, he was trying to walk ball up. He's in these deep positions. Ball's bouncing off his shins. And the conditions weren't very good. It was very windy. He's not played for 6.5 weeks, and he looked a little bit like he got lip on about that. And probably fair enough because what's his record? 1 goal in 3 or 1 goal in 2 starts, and 70 odd minutes when Patterson got injured. So why play him there? And it reminds me, we've all been involved in amateur football, and you all know that thing, who's that over there? And new kid's turned up, and he's talking to Gaffer. Oh, where do you play, son? Well, I'm a left back, but I can do a job up front. Oh, right, yeah. And where's your mate play? I play at Middle Park, but I can do a job up front. And what about him? Goalkeeper. Yeah, I'm a goalkeeper, mate, but I can do a job up front. Every fucker thought they could do a job up front. And now, in modern football, it's almost like we've embraced that. Yeah, see if he can do a job up front as a general attacker. Well, no, if centre forward is a centre forward, and if you've got one, play him up front because it's a specialist position. So the first half, I wasn't happy about that. And plus, I wanted to see him and Berahino working that little, We had plenty of ball, actually. The possession was sloppy. I've seen some of the stats for giving the ball away, and it's horrifically high, but the conditions weren't great. And the other thing is, it's more or less a reserve side, isn't it? I mean, we've got more or less a first 11, 13, 14 maybe that are playing most weeks in some configuration. They're not playing like a gelled side. So you chuck all these in a scrappy game, in a midweek cup game that nobody's bothered about, and some of them's not really kicked a ball in anger in 4, 5, 6 weeks. Gibson's not kicked a ball at all. They're not going to gel straight away, are they? But despite that, and despite the wind and some sloppy possession and passing and giving ball away and a lot of shindiggeroonies going on, there were actually some little bits where I thought, do you know what, that's all right. That's all right. Persist with Johnson at left back. I can understand the thinking. He'll not be the first manager and he'll not be the last manager, especially in modern game where so much width is relied upon from full-backs because everyone likes to clog bloody middle of pitch up. I can understand the theory of playing a winger at full-back, and I get that. But I do think if you're playing a winger at full-back, you can't really have a winger in front of him because that's just giving you nothing defensively then. If you're playing a winger at full-back, play a left side of midfield player who's either going to be tucking in and making a forward in midfield in centre and allowing that gap on outside, or play a full back there and you get that little maybe overlap where they've got the different, so Brown and Johnson haven't worked too badly when they've done it that way around, but playing two wingers, I don't think that's ever going to work, and I think he suffered for having Sol in front of him. Berahino, I thought, could look quite lively, but he's not very big, is he? He was never going to really be able to hold ball up, and the way with the wind as well, he weren't going to be able to really stretch him behind the ball. The ball was always going to overrun going out. So half time comes a goal. So we're having a little look and thought, oh great, Canberra's pushed forward this time. Let's he didn't have a great game all round, but he scored again. Do you know what I mean? Some people just seem to have this blasts everything into the top of net, doesn't he? Some people have got that habit, haven't they? I can remember years ago, living at home with my mum and dad's, I'd be about 14, 15, and there was an old fella lived next door to me dad, and he was about 90 then. I used to walk home from school, and I'd have a chat with him. We'd always sat out on wall in front if the weather was nice. I remember talking to him, and he was one from the old guard, that had he'd watch Wednesday one week and United other week. Do you know what I mean? Back from them days when the rivalries weren't full of spiteful hatred. And talking to him once about Derek Dooley, because I'm a bit of a Rothman's. Well, most folks won't know what that is now, but I used to get Rothman's yearbook and Derek Dooley, 53 and 53, and I couldn't get it out of my head. I thought, that's amazing. Nobody will ever do that again. And I said to him, did you ever see Derek Dooley play? And he went, oh yeah. So was he a great footballer? Because at the time we'd probably got David Hurst, and I was like, was he similar? And he went, oh no. He said, David Hurst far better footballer. I went, really? He went, oh yeah. He went, Dooley, ball used to bounce off him. He used to be knocking off his knees and his shin, and it would just bounce off him all the time. I said, really? He said, oh yeah. He said, but the thing is, 9 times out of 10, it happened to bounce into the net and all. So, and that's always stuck with me. And I think some people have just got that knack of just be, So Canberra weren't brilliant, but he scored a goal again, hasn't he? Once we put him, I'll keep banging on about this every single week. Once we put him in his best position. It's like a jigsaw, isn't it? You don't get a piece and just hammer it into an hole it don't fit in. When as soon as I saw Canberra were further forward, I thought, oh great, him furthest forward. We might see Berahino operating in that little pocket behind where he used to play for West Brom. But he was subbed off at break, which I suspect means he's going to be involved on Saturday. Sol comes on. Sol then sort of goes up front, and it is floating round. I don't know what he is. He's flattered to deceive, I think. I don't know what he is. Like I said, we go back to that thing of, well, he's sort of a generic attacker. Is he right foot, left? Is he wing, ball? I don't really know what he is. I'm not sure. I think he's just one of them. Oh, he's a footballer. I think he's one of them. Marvin Johnson goes to right back. I'm almost starting to feel sorry for him at this stage, but although he's at right back, and I think, well, he's not a left back. Well, we're playing him there. What would we move him to right back for? It's a lovely ball in for our goal for wing, Marvin Johnson. That is a great ball in, and nice to see wing getting on and making an extra man in box with that run. Little glancer, lovely jubbly. Great ball from Johnson, and he's That's 2 assists in 2 games. Now, we can say he's not playing well. We can say Darren Moore's playing him out of position. We can say he can't defend, which he can't really. But he's getting assists from that position, those positions. He's getting assists from fullback. So, on the one hand, you can say, oh, it's not working. He looks a fish out of water. On the other hand, you can say he is getting that space on them overlaps. So, I've got a feeling Darren Moore might persist with it against Bolton on Saturday. So, we'll see. Gibson, I thought, were quite smart at centre-half. So he's not played for however long. Used ball quite well. And doesn't it make a difference when you've got that balance of having a left-footed centre-half? You won't think it made that much difference, but it really does. It just... Thought he were solid. Thought that was a quite solid debut. And perhaps he's got a chance of playing Saturday because midfield's a bit milky, innit? And I thought Hutchinson did really well against Wigan. I don't particularly want him to play in there. I prefer him at centre-half, but without Luongo, you need somebody in there who's going to do that job. And perhaps if this Gibson's fit now, they might have to risk putting Hutchinson there for a few games. The other player who caught the eye against Mansfield were Corbin. Very lively. There's that thing about when to release though, isn't there? He reminded me, you know, when you're training in week and one of the lads turns up and he says, oh, Gaff, I've brought a mate, is it alright for you? And you say, oh yeah, of course it is, son, yeah. And then he plays and everyone, oh, he's good. But then he tries to beat the 9th man and loses ball, you know. And then at the end of the session, all lads say, don't bring him again. Greedy bastard. A little bit like one of them, innit? But if we could just get that little bit of end product and just when to release, I think he does look a play. You can see the potential. You can see why Wolves have signed him. And he's only going to learn that if he gets games for Wednesday, isn't he? You know, I can say, oh, he's a greedy get. He's beat 3, and why beat the 4th? Why not stick the cross in? Or why not make that final pass? But when you're not in team, you're that desperate to impress that sometimes you can try that little bit too hard. But I do think he's shown enough to at least warrant a place in squad for Saturday, and I think he could consider himself unlucky if he didn't get a start, to be honest, because from wide areas, especially on right, I don't really think we've created that much this season. Like I said, Sol has left a bit to be desired for me. I don't really know what he is. Johnson's been putting some decent delivery in from left, albeit we know he can't really defend that well. And where else is the service coming from? I think Patterson's probably put 2 at best balls in from right wing this season, and he's not even a right winger. I don't even know if he's a centre forward. I don't know what he is, but I think he's got to start Saturday because he's putting him centre about, isn't he? I don't think he'll play Patterson and Berahino in that way, but I would like to see big lad with Berahino around him. I think that's where I'd go Saturday. I shouldn't be talking about Saturday. I'm going to do a different video about that because there's some other things I want to talk about with Wednesday stats in league games. So yeah, we beat Mansfield. It weren't a very good game. Scrappy. I think the wind ruined it. The one thing I will have to say is I thought the referee was really good. The lass, which... Okay, it weren't a nasty game. It weren't like that friendly we played over here when there was the bloody riot and all kung fu kicking, and I thought she had a good game. Let it flow. Like I said, it weren't a particularly nasty game, but just got on with things. I do sometimes wonder, maybe players are less likely to be arseholes to a woman referee. Maybe there's that bit of, I don't want to say chivalry, but I do wonder if that has an effect, a little bit of respect sort of thing. Although, like I say, it weren't a particularly nasty game because nobody's going to go thundering in and chucking them sends about in a second group game. And Johnson's paint trophy pizza thing. So, yep, through to the next round. not next round, next stage now, we're guaranteed. It'll be 9 points if we beat Harrogate, even if it won't. Unless there's a massive upset in the Mansfield against Newcastle under 21 guy. I can't believe we're talking about this like it's a serious competition. But I'm going to crack on. We now have this massive tie against Harrogate to see who tops the group. Group H. I'll see who we're getting next round. I actually think it's going to come in useful as a way of having a look at lads, because there's no bloody reserve games anymore, is there? I still think there'd be a value for having a reserve league, I do honestly. I mean, Deli Bashiro, he's another one. I thought he showed in flashes, you think, oh yeah, powering through a couple of challenges and just making 15, 20 yards up pitch, and you think, oh, we could do way a bit of that on a Saturday. Again, odd loose ball or wrong decision, but if they're not getting games, how are they ever going to? Do you know what I mean? At least if you've still got bloody reserves, playing every week against other blokes. I don't think somebody who's his size and his stature, playing odd gamers, almost like a senior in kids. I don't think that he's not going to get out from that, is he? I'd have him in match day squad on Saturday. Don't know whether I'd start him, but who knows, we'd had him more. Yeah, quite interesting. Brown come on again. I thought he looked good again. I can see this is just going to be my thing all season. Just play Jaden Brown. We haven't seen him properly at left back yet. Properly. I mean, that's like the first smidge of seeing him in that position. Shadipo's a funny one. Some weeks I'm like, okay, he looks like somebody's mate's turned up. Put a shirt on, just stand out there, son. Other times, like Shrewsbury, running at men and mixing it up as well. I mean, remember last season it was Kadeem Harris, weren't it, with his same run every time. Either cut inside and blast you off at bar, or try and get to the byline and, well, anything could happen. But he was mixing it up, Shadipo, beating man outside, them lovely swerving crosses that way. Then he were coming inside and doing some of them more lofty one step back stick, and I thought, oh, player here. Then there's just been a couple of games I'm like, has he touched it? Odd player. But again, how do you get consistency when you're in and out? It's difficult, isn't it? Well, this is turning into another ramble again, isn't it? So I'll just stick the Group H table on and have a look at that. I'll do a preview for Bolton because, of course, we're going to welcome back Kieran Lee this weekend, and I'm sure he'll get a great reception, so I'll start having a dig about for that. And I better get to bed, Anna. Knackered this week. Knackered. Just been one of them weeks, and you don't stop. When you finish your shift and you see a cup of tea that's not got any milk in it that you started making at 7:15 in the morning and you've not actually had it yet and it's 7:15 at night. One of them weeks. So, yeah, I'll do a Bolton preview. Oh, right. It's table if you're interested in this very, very exciting and prestigious competition. Oh, and subscribe as well. I'd like some Wednesday fans to subscribe. I think mainly I've got opposition fans subscribing so they can say, this channel's not mentioning my team. Well, clue is in the thing, innit? Because my little avatar, I've got little Wednesday colours behind it, and the header's got Wednesday badge in it and Wednesday colours, and the video say Sheffield Wednesday fan preview. There's a little clue there, so don't get too upset if you support one of these other clubs. Gordon Bennett. Right, good night.